Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I am Kanawana and today we are here with Shadow City Mysteries Case Files. This is a narrative game set in Shadow City's underbelly. Assume the role of the Rat King, an underworld mastermind fighting for absolute power. Shape your legend by forging alliances, crushing rivals, and leaving a trail of consequences. I am super excited to play this. I already do love the graphics and I'm vibing with his music right now. Loving it. Let's go ahead and get into it and check it out. The Rat King sits alone at a shadow-drenched booth. Half-finished drink sweats beside a worn pack of smokes. The slow bleed of a trumpet leaks from speakers overhead. Ambient crowd chatters distant like the world forgot about this place. Suddenly, without sound, the smoker appears across from him. The smoker, that is... I like that. Still savor the corners. Smart, fewer eyes, fewer surprises. Well, except me, maybe. Come a long way since the docks. Didn't think I see you back here? Not like this. I remember the day you showed up. Boots still wet with war. Didn't say much, didn't need to. Everyone else did the talking, but me, I wanted to know what kind of soldier you really were. What kind of soldier were you? Brutal. I went in first, left fast. I was in and out before they knew who I was. Knew I was there. I'm gonna go with subtle. Ghost in the gears, never saw you coming, even when I was looking. What did the war leave behind? The edge, always watching, always waiting for my move. I learned to stay invisible, worked just fine in this city. Violence solves more problems than people admit. I'll go with this one. City eats the cautious. You bit first. What did the city teach you? Reminded me, I answer to no one, there's always a crack, you just need to slip through it. The trick isn't hiding, it's never being looked for. Every throne is built on someone else's bones. And you keep sitting taller, the city's learning your name in whispers and bruises. Smoker snuffs out his cigarette. Still the same soldier, different battlefield, different armor, but same eyes. He stands slowly. I remember the docks, salt air, crane chains rattling like old ghosts. You stepping off the boat with nothing but a duffel bag and a look. Close your eyes, King. Let's go back to where the war began. Oh, what's this journal? Oh, abilities. Brutal. Subtle. Oh, so it's like different proficient in these different. Okay, I see. Smoker is less a faction and more an enigma that's lingered in Shadow City for longer than anyone can recall. Some say he's a single individual, unchanged by time, while others believe the Smoker is a title passed down through generations. His presence is subtle but constant, felt in the shifting alliances of the city's power brokers, in the whispered deals that shape events from the shadows, and in the uncanny sense that he is always several steps ahead of everyone else. What drives him remains a mystery. Those who have crossed paths with the Smoker describe an unnerving calm, a talent for knowing exactly what to say, an ability to secure authority without overt threats. Whatever his true agenda is, it is known only to him, and the pieces of his plan are being laid quietly, hidden among the city's everyday chaos. Oh, and then tells me if he a homie or not. The Smoker is older, sharper, and far more dangerous than he lets on. A fixture of the city itself, his presence felt in every district and among every kind of crowd. He drifts between worlds with the ease of someone who knows exactly how they're all connected. His network runs deep and wide, touching everything from the gambling dens of the East End to the private salons of the upper quarters, and nobody's quite sure where his true allegiances lie. You do not seek out the Smoker. He comes to you when he needs something, and when he does, you quickly realize whatever he is asking is only one thread in a web that stretches far beyond your sight. Every conversation with him feels like it is a part of a much larger design, layers upon layers of schemes you will never fully see. He's not your mentor, but you still learned how to listen more than you speak, how to recognize the pull of hidden strings, and how to walk away before you get tangled in them. The only sign he is gone is the fading trace of purple smoke curling in the air. Deep side. Fog rolls off the water, cargo cranes creak overhead, steam curls from the street grates. The camera lingers on an empty space, then the smoker steps into frame, coat trailing smoke. Well, Shadow City's newest arrival. You got the look of someone who's seen a few too many maps and trusted too few guides. He approaches slowly, one hand in his coat pocket. Funny thing about this city, it doesn't care who you were. Just who you owe, and who owes you back. So let's start simple. You coming here to be seen, or to disappear? Came to be forgotten. That's a good answer, or a dangerous one. Either way, I like it. I've heard things. Not all good, but impressive. You burned bridges and walked away clean. You made enemies that stay up at night wondering if they're next. He lights a cigarette, shielding the flame from the wind. That's the kind of reputation that gets noticed. That's the kind of baggage I like. Useful, heavy. So let's talk about now. You're fresh off the boat, broke, unknown, probably got ghosts, but maybe, just maybe, you're still got your instincts. I didn't come for charity, I came for leverage. I solve problems permanently. That's the voice of someone who's going to matter, unless they get themselves killed first. Here's what I'm offering. You need work, you need cover, you need friends. Today's your lucky day. I'm all three. He exhales slowly. I'm going to point you toward a few people. You make a good impression, maybe they talk. Maybe they listen, maybe they call you friend. Start with the Court of Rats. Ugly name, power behind every word. Run quiet, run wide. They remember who plays nice. 2 of their lieutenants are out and about. Go say hello. Don't screw up. He flicks the cigarette into the bay, walks off into the fog. Arena Goal or Jonu Swan? Down. Jonu leans against a crate with a ledger in one hand and an unlit cigarette in the other. He looks up at you like he already knows how the conversation ends. Let me guess, you're the smoker's latest mistake. Fresh face, sharp coat, too clean. He flicks the cigarette into the street without lighting it. Tell me, you here to hustle or just hoping someone doesn't hustle you first? Ah, okay, that's sharp. Maybe you won't get eaten after all. Joni steps off the crate, circling around you slowly. Smoker said you got potential. He says that a lot. Most of the time, it turns out what he actually meant was funeral potential. He squints at you with a half smile that never quite touches his eyes. So, what's your angle in this city? I make moves before people realize they're on the board. I don't show my hands, I design the table. Bold whisper. You really aren't here to make noise, huh? Jonu stops in front of you, this time with a more serious expression. Alright, I'm convinced. You're not a pushover. Might even be clever enough to walk and lie at the same time. He digs a silver coin from his pocket, flips it once, and catches it. We need people who can move sideways when the world says forward. The court remembers people like that. Joni walks off casually, slipping back in the crowd like he was never there. Arena Gold! Ooh. Arena leans against a steel door, arms crossed, cigarette lit, but barely smoked. She clocks you before you speak. You're not from here. You walk like you're expecting applause, or a fight. Which one are you hoping for? Depends on who throws the first punch. Good, I get bored with people who flinch. You look like you break first. Ask never. She steps closer, flicks her ash sideways without breaking eye contact. You know who I am? Name's Arena. I'm not a recruiter. I'm the part of the court that makes the problem go away, loudly or quietly. She eyes you a little differently now. I can smell it on you. The kind of anger that gets refined. Terry, yeah? Brass in your veins or just on your boots? Damn, that's kind of odd. She pulls the door open, pauses. Court needs people who can hold their ground and shut their mouth when needed. You might be one of them. She steps into the shadows. Door slams shut behind her. I'm assuming we were making a good impression. The Court of Rats is Shadow City's most powerful and feared organization, organized crime syndicate. From gambling dens and drug houses to high-end smuggling and illicit trade, they have carved out a near-total monopoly over the city's underworld. To the public, they maintain a veneer of honor among thieves, forbidding unnecessary murder, human trafficking, and crimes involving children, but rumors suggest these rules bend when it suits the court's interests. The origins are lost to history, whispered to have emerged from the chaos after a citywide disaster, or from the calculated unification of the underworld's most cunning figures. Their influence stretches into every district, making enemies disappear and allies rich. The Court of Rats thrives on secrecy, loyalty, and the understanding that once you're inside, you're in for life. For many, joining the court is the only way to escape poverty or gain real power. For others, it is a decision that costs more than they ever imagined. Rat Queen. Jonu Swan is sharp, quick-witted, and always looking for the next angle. A hustler for the Court of Rats, he makes his living in the gray spaces between the city's laws, turning cons, running games, and finding ways to make money off anyone who is not paying close enough attention. He started small with card tricks and street swindles, then worked his way up more elaborate schemes. Each one a little riskier than the last. Jonu thrives on the thrill of the setup, and the moment his mark realizes the trap has already sprung, he knows how to read people, twist truth into something they want to hear, and make them thank him for taking their money. Every job he runs feeds into the court's coffers and keeps his name whispered in the right circles. Catch him in a good mood, he might tell you a story about the one time a mark got the better of him, though whether it is true is another matter. Marina Goal is tough, rough, and built for the kind of work most people would rather pretend does not exist. A member of the Court of Rats with a reputation for settling problems quickly, she serves as a lieutenant to Queenie, the Rat Queen, making sure orders are carried out without hesitation. She came up running with small-time crews, working muscle on street rackets and protection jobs, and earned her ink by proving she could handle herself, no matter how bad things got. Irina does not go anywhere without her brass knuckles, and she has a habit of letting people know it. Do not hire her for finesse. She comes to you when the court has decided a message needs to be sent, and she makes sure it is received loud and clear. Everything she does is part of the Rat's bigger game. Even if you only see the immediate damage, ask her about it, and she will just grin, crack her knuckles, and change the subject. She kinda... Queen. Okay, Queen. You're escorted through velvet curtains to a back booth. Queenie sits like she owns the building, and she does. Well, so this is the shadow that's been slipping through my court. Irina said you got teeth. Jonu said you got brains. And the smoker, he said you've got potential. She lifts her drink and swirls it. None of them impress easy, and they sure as hell don't say nice things unless there's a reason. But me, I don't move on nice words. I move on results. She leans forward, sharp smile shining through the dim. So tell me something real, sugar. What do you do when it's your move? Does this count as what were the other ones? It was brutal, subtle, insubordinate, opportunist. I already forgot. I assume this counts as brutal, I'm just not sure why it's not. Queenie nods, but reserved. Not bad. You got caution. Let's see if you got fire too. Queenie taps her glass and it's refilled instantly by someone unseen. I don't build my court on charm. I build it on debt, leverage, and fear. I respect loyalty, and I reward usefulness. If you want to see it here, you don't just need friends, you need alliances. Let other things which one's better. Queenie chuckles softly. You might already be dangerous, I'll be watching closely. She sets down her glass, suddenly serious. The city's a hungry thing. It chews up rookies and spits out memories. But you got that something. She waves you off with 2 fingers. Make some noise. Make some friends. And do a little good for my people along the way. Her voice drops into velvet menace. Do that and maybe you'll be more than a whisper in my ear. No idea how to pronounce that. Jolithe? Winter stands near her fireplace like it's no heat. She doesn't offer to shake your hand. You're late. Or early. With people like you, it's hard to tell. I suppose Queenie thinks you're someone worth testing. She always did enjoy charity. She turns slowly, assessing. You've been running with rats. Now you want the ravens to take notice? Clever, not court with political wit. There's a difference, and it matters. She moves across the room, pours herself a glass of chilled something clear, doesn't offer you any. You know what makes this society different from Queenie's crew? They think crime is a rebellion. We know it's currency, and sometimes you don't steal the bank, you become it. She turns back, eyes sharp now. I don't need muscle. I need people who understand favors and how long they last. That's an answer I can work with. She finally offers you a seat, but only after the conversation's nearly done. You're more interesting than I expected. Still rough, but maybe useful. And I do enjoy useful things. She sips her drink, then sets it down with precision. We may speak again when I need something leveraged. Until then, consider yourself slightly less beneath me. Take it. Crowded urban street filled with shadows, smoke, and a low hum of foot traffic. You spot Jonu leaning on a wall beside a fruit vendor. He's dressed down, worn jacket, low hat, inconspicuous. There you are, took you long enough. I was starting to look like a guy waiting on date. Spoiler, I'm not that desperate. He gestures slightly with his chin, eyes not leaving the crowd. We're following someone, quietly. I do the tailing, you make sure nobody tails me. He steps into the flow of bodies. You move behind him, keeping loose distance. Play it cool, act like you belong, like we've done this before. You ever follow someone just to see where they are when they don't know they're being seen? More for the shadows. Jonu nods. That's it. You're talking like one of us already. The 2 of you weave between stalls and crates. The mark turns a corner. You both pause at a busier junction. That's him. Name's Tallow. Used to run safe routes for the court. Started charging extra. Started leaking. Now we see who he's leaking to. He glances back, voice lower now. You're doing good, by the way. Most people fidget. You fade. To kid the bump it in 30 seconds. Jonu grins. Strategic chaos. Queenie would love that move. Tallow disappears around the corner. Jonu doesn't follow. He folds his arms thinking. That's enough. We know the when and where. Now it's about who. He looks at you softer now. You're not what I expected, and trust me, I've been trained to expect a lot. He pauses, then adds with a half grin. You know Queenie? Yeah, she's my aunt. No, don't laugh. It's as weird as it sounds. Family dinners are complicated. Starts walking, waves you to follow. She wanted you tested. I think you passed. I wouldn't mind working with you again. Period. The docks just before dawn. Fog rolls thick over the water, cloaking the rusted edges of cargo containers. Ghouls cry overhead. There's no one else in sight, at first. Smoker stands under a dock lamp, its flickering light catching the rising curl of smoke from his cigarette. He doesn't look at you when you approach. Thanks for showing. You don't want to come alone. They don't want to bring someone nosy either. Finally, oop, I skipped that too fast. You're not here to talk. You're here to remind someone they're not the scariest person in the room. Or, if they are, maybe they still bleed. He exhales sharply. You don't have to say anything, just look like you've seen enough to be dangerous. You lead, I'll follow your rhythm. The smoker nods slightly. Just don't miss the beat if it turns bad. The figure approaches in the fog, all backlit, holding a flat case under one arm. No words are exchanged, the smoker walks forward. You remain where you are, still, deliberate, watching. A short conversation unfolds in low voices you can't fully hear. Smoker gestures, the case is past, the other figure walks away without glancing at you. The smoker returns, flicking his cigarette into the water. Clean, for now. He doesn't say what was in the case, doesn't ask if he saw anything. He made an impression. Sometimes silence does better than threats. He walks beside you now, slower. Just maybe 3 people in this city, and one of them is dead. Today, you made the list. The smoker stops at the pier's edge. You'll be hearing from Queenie soon. She doesn't ask for help, she expects it. So she calls, you answer, fast. The smoker disappears back into the fog, his outline swallowed by a morning mist. Queenie's lounge, but quieter than usual. The lights are low, no music plays, the bar is empty, save for Queenie, seated alone in her usual spot. Her glass untouched, you're escorted in silently and left alone with her. Queenie says without looking up, "You've been busy, haven't you?" She gestures to the empty seat across from her. Irina and Jonu like you. That's rare. They don't like many people, and definitely don't like each other. She picks up her glass but still doesn't drink. They're loyal, but lately, loyalty's been leaking. Backdoors, deals, one of them's up to something. Or maybe both. Her gaze sharpens, finally meeting yours. I can't lose 2 lieutenants, but I can lose 1. She leans forward, eyes lit like fire behind a veil. Want a place in my court? This is your price. Pick one, Irina or Jonu. You put the other in the ground, quietly, permanently. Do that, and you're one of us. Her voice softens, almost intimate. This isn't a test of character, it's a test of utility. So tell me, how do you feel about being asked to kill someone who trusts you? Loyalty ends where orders begin. Queenie is amused but unshaken. I like ambition, but don't overplay it. Debt runs both ways in my house. She finally takes a sip from her glass. You get one chance to make the right mistake. Pick the body. Do it clean. When it's done, you come back here and we'll lift your name into the court. She leans back into the shadows. Go. Decide who you are and who they were. Ooh. I really do like Jonu, but I also like Irina too. I do feel like if anyone is doing something, it would be Jonu, because I feel like he's sneaky. Nightback alley near a steelworks loading dock. Irina stands under a dead lamp, arms folded, watching the street like she's expecting trouble. The moment she sees you, her posture changes, still tough, still ready, but resigned. I knew it was coming. Didn't know it'd be you delivering it. She walks a slow half circle around you, stopping just out of reach. I never planned to turn on Queenie, not really, just thought maybe I'd carve a little room of my own while she wasn't looking. Yeah, she was looking. Yeah, I did. That's on me. No flinching. She pulls out a cigarette, light it with a trembling match and inhales. So what's gonna be then? You came to close the book, or tear out the page and let it drift? No, that's it? You're really giving me the out? She flicks the cigarette away. You just earned a debt. One I won't forget. On one day, maybe I'll return the favor from far away. She walks off into the smoke, vanishing around the corner. I hope that was a good choice, because, like, she's gonna owe me now. With that final act, you cemented your place in the court of rats. Not as a follower, not just a survivor, but something new. You made your choice, and choices always echo in Shadow City. Queenie smiled. The whispers fell silent. You had blood on your hands and ghosts in your wake. This was only the beginning. The military wasn't done with you. Called you back for one more tour, a special assignment. Something off the books, something that would send you back to the court. Even more change than before. Smoke thickens, shapes flicker within it. Outlines of Queenie, Irina, Jonu, the smoker. You've earned your seat, but your eyes were already on the throne. Faint crackle, a lighter flicked, a cigarette inhaled. And the smoker, he saw it before anyone. He wanted something. Whatever it was, you were the tool or the weapon. Only time would tell. Play the full version of Shadow City Mystery Case Files, Rise of the Rat King. Wish list now. Okay, that was definitely interesting. I like the premise of it. I do wish the demo kind of, I guess, gave like a little bit more. Yeah, I guess like show off like more of mechanics. Also with like the abilities, like do I gain like anything extra from being more subtle or more brutal? But I am interested. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for it when it does come out. But the demo is available on Steam. Thank you to the developers and Keymailer for allowing me to check this out. But yeah, if this is your thing, definitely give it a just lost my train of thought. Give it a whirl. But if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Mwah, mwah.